Hi everybody, hopefully I can do this in one take. This is a quick emergency 2024 ETF supplement video. So, since the last video dropped, I learned that friend and fellow collector in my region, Dave Nash, also known as Diesel Jeep on Video Karma, passed away a few months ago, and his family has been selling off his collection. I've acquired quite a number of things. A lot of them I plan to keep, but a number of them I either need to get rid of or should probably consider getting rid of. So let's do a quick look at some of the stuff. Most of the stuff in this corner is keep stuff. One thing I've got that I am willing to let go of is this Motorola TS918 chassis. It's a nice complete chassis and tuner. If someone has a Motorola TV that they need parts for, this would probably be a good parts chassis. I've got a B&K 1077 Analyst, one of the later ones. These are pretty good. I have one just like this on my workbench. This specific one I have not tested, but I would assume probably works okay because a fair portion of these later generation ones work good. Let's see here. I'm probably not going to bring... I've got 4 of these Emersons, and one of them is a part set. I was considering bringing the part set if I could restore the other 3, but I am not going to get the other 3 restored, so unless someone desperately needs a part set, I'm probably going to hang on to it. If someone does, let me know. Got a whole box of Balance and Zenith Insignia and Digital Stream DTV converters and one other brand. Probably work. My friend Mr. Nash, he I believe was the one who came up with the repair for these converters when they stop powering on. There's one electrolytic capacitor in them that tends to fail. I've got a 19A11. The picture tube I hooked up to a working Motorola chassis, and the picture tube lit up with a nice bright clear picture, so it's a good picture tube in there. Cabinet's fairly decent. There's no back, there's no chassis screws, there's no knobs, and the channel plate's a little bit messed up. There's this empty 19A11 cabinet with the alternate speaker grill pattern. The channel plate's in better shape. This cabinet's fairly decent, but there is a cracked out section in the bottom of the cabinet, which isn't really noticeable unless you're behind it. Not sure if I'm going to bring this cabinet or what I'm going to do with it. There's no picture tube with it, and I bought the chassis of it so that I could cut the chassis down, remove all of the tuner and audio stuff, and make basically a very small basic video monitor picture tube tester, because after testing free electrostatic picture tubes and realizing what a chore it is hooking into a working Motorola set without pulling chassis on both sets, I've decided I wanted to make myself a tube tester. I've got a whole box of random brighteners if anybody needs them. I have a Pilot TV 37, but I already have a trade lined up with a friend of mine, so unless he gets turned off by this thing, it's probably spoken for. I've got this Admiral, I believe it's a 12x12 cabinet. Very rare the pencil box door is intact. The speaker is present. Everything else is gone. I sold this set to Mr. Nash, oh God, probably more than a decade ago. He really wanted it when he saw me post about it on Video Karma that I gotten a hold of it. And I think I gave it to him for what I paid for it. And he took it apart, I guess, to restore it, and I didn't learn about or get to the sale in time to retrieve the chassis. That or the family tossed the chassis in the dumpster. I'm not sure. All I know is that there was no trace of the chassis or the back which this thing had when I gave it to Dave. So, if someone wants this, speak up. This cabinet, if someone wants it, I'll bring it, or maybe even the bezel. I don't really want to remove the bezel. I'd like to sell the whole cabinet, so I'm not hanging on to a cabinet. But I'm either going to sell this thing whole to somebody as it sits, or I'm going to tuck it up in the rafters over there and wait for a nice chassis for it to pop up. Let's see here. I've got this, I think it's about a 19, maybe 21-inch Silvertone Medalist black and white television set. The picture tube is the lower end of mediocre. It'll produce a picture, I'm pretty sure, based on how it's testing, but I can't make it produce a picture right now because the horizontal output tube, I think it's a 17 GT5, that tube went down to air before I ever got the set, and when I tried to pull the tube out, it came apart. I did variac the set before that, and I got sound, but no high voltage, obviously, because the horizontal output was dead. I don't have a spare for that tube, so I can't really, I don't have a spare for that horizontal output tube, so I can't really pop one in and test this set with a different output tube. But realistically, if you get a new output tube in this set, it'll probably work. There's a chance maybe the horizontal oscillator isn't running. If that's the case, then that's really probably all you would need to troubleshoot on this, would be my guess, given that it has good picture. I've got this Telecheck television test jig. It is, I believe, an 8YP4 picture tube. Yeah, 8YP4 right there. Universal test yoke with alligator clip leads. You'll need to fabricate a high voltage extension lead, or just use this jig close enough that the original lead on whatever set you're working for will reach. And you'll need to make or track down some socket adapters for different style bases. This tube will work in, it's a fairly universal tube, so it'll work in older, larger bakelite socket monochrome sets, and later smaller socket sets like what the Predicta used, if you have the right adapters. You make those adapters, maybe even an extension cable adapter so that it can reach the chassis easier, and you got a great test jig. I've got one pretty much identical to this that came with about the same amount of stuff that this did, so, and I love mine, so if you do a lot of servicing, this is a good thing to have. I've got some more picture tube testers. I've got this B&K upside down cake with the shakies. This B&K 465 picture tube tester. I believe this is the model before my 466. Yeah, I think my preferred model that I've been using for all these years is a 466. Very similar tester in some ways and different in other ways. It's probably a good tester. It looks nice. This matches my signal tube tester, actually, so if no one buys this, I might just hang on to it because I think it's neat. I've got this picture tube tester. Another B&K. This one, I believe, only has the adapter for monochrome tubes. My first tester was one of these. These are all right. That's also available. The picture tube testers will probably come automatically as long as I can find space in the truck. But this cabinet and this cabinet are only going to show up at the meet if someone really badly wants them, or if magically I have a lot of space, which I'm not expecting to be something that happens. Do I still have my big flashlight? I also got from Dave's estate a NOS, I believe, 14QP4. I have a couple of sets that use it but have good picture tubes in them. I wouldn't mind keeping it as a spare, but I also wouldn't mind letting it go to somebody who needs it or wants it. Let's see here. What do I have that I want to tell people about? I don't really want to sell it, but this red RCA metal cabinet portable is here, and if someone wanted it bad enough, the Safari that's in non-working condition, if someone wanted it minus the front hood screen cover thing, I might let it go. And I have a multi-standard 70s Sony sitting back there that also I might let go. None of those I really want to sell, but if someone wants badly enough. I also have the chassis to one of those 8-inch RCA compact portable TVs. It actually has a power transformer in it, which is neat. I'm probably going to bring that because I don't want to keep it, but a few of the parts in here I actually need for my set. In fact, it looks like this one was the same cabinet color as my set was, so these parts will be really useful for my set. Oh, it even has the right handle stuff. I can make my set perfect with the stuff that's in the box. That big chassis I don't need. So if you need this big chassis for something, go for it. It's not big, but it's bigger than the knobs and the doodabbers that exist. Let's see here. All right. I also have a 10 ABP4 CRT from Dave's estate in the basement that I'd be willing to let go of. Out there in the distance is a trailer load of NOS picture tubes from Bob Gallanter that he wants me to donate to the museum, as well as a late 40s Westinghouse television that has a flip-out screen. It's like a 16-inch picture tube that, when the set's closed up, faces vertical, and when the set's in use, faces forward horizontal. I was told I could have any of that in exchange for helping him get the bulk of that junk to the ETF. So if I'm going to be trying to get that trailer straight to the ETF on Friday in the evening sometime. If anyone gets to me while I'm unloading it, I have no clue what tubes are in there. I don't have any of the numbers in my head except for 22JP22. Most of them are monochrome tubes from the 60s, if I recall correctly. Check out Bob Gallanter's website, maybe through the Wayback Machine. He had a list of tubes for sale. I don't know if he's taken it down. If it's still up, probably the ones that aren't blacked out are probably the ones that are on that trailer. You might be able to get an idea of what they are from that. If you can meet up with me before I get those all unloaded at the museum, and you can find a tube that you really want, you can have it for free. All I'm doing is helping out a friend towing that trailer, and maybe I'll get a little extra cargo capacity out of that trailer. But yeah, I have no clue how I'm gonna fit this entire mess, including the console that's currently in the truck, into the truck. There's probably gonna be stuff on the roof and more stuff on the trailer. Wish me luck. I've got the remainder of this evening and a small amount of tomorrow. Well, tomorrow it's gonna be raining on and off to get my loading done, and then the day after I'm gonna be driving. So hopefully this all works out. See you all at the ETF. I hope it's a good meet this year. This has been Tom Carlson. Peace out.